Okay, I think you are live on YouTube. I need to check. Yeah, okay. So, good morning. I'm here with Ricardo. We will talk about Brazil, underrated or overrated. Just remember, Talking Talk is a platform to practice English, so we don't have a teacher here. So you are free to make mistakes and improve with them. Ricardo, could you present yourself, please?
Sure. Well, I'm Ricardo. I live at São Vicente, is a small city of São Paulo state. It's south coast from São Paulo, and São Vicente is the first city of Brazil. Well, I'm married. I have a daughter. I have two little pets. My cats, Quindim and Pudim, and well. I love watching movies, hang out with my friends, family. I believe that I love having opportunities to talk with my family and the friends. So talk about soccer, politics, and the uh, opportunities, travel experience.
Vision.
That yeah, and the TV shows too. That's nice.
Great. So I am Lucas. I am 24 years old. I live in São Paulo. I am a pharmacist. I like to hang out with my friends, with my wife. I like to talk about soccer. I like to play soccer.
It's nice.
Yes, I like to stay at home doing nothing. It's very good too. So yeah, it's a little about me. Ricardo, first question. You said you live in São Vicente. So you live in Brazil. Do you like to live here? And why?
I was born in Santos. Is a city. Is is a neighbor city. Actually, that's weird because it's the same island. So
Mhm.
sometimes I'm not sure if you know my region, but sometimes you walk, you driving in an avenue and you pass cross the border between Santos and São Vicente, and a lot of people, the most part of the people didn't notice because there aren't a sign. Uh, there is a sign there, another situation, and the this avenue this avenue is in front of the beach, and so the people pay attention on the beach and don't notice if you cross this border. So for me, it's similar environment. Yeah, certainly there are differences because I consider Santos infrastructure better than São Vicente. São Vicente is poor from see if you compare it with Santos, because Santos have a I forgot the name, Porto, and
Yeah,
one of the biggest of the world. So in this case, the budget is bigger, much bigger if comparing.
it's impossible
San-
to compare.
yeah, yeah. But well, I love living here. I pass particular all my life in this region. I was born, as I told you, I was born in Santos, but I moved to São Vicente when I was 9 years old. So I'm living here uh, 4 years, 40 years. So
Yes, almost your whole life.
yeah, so and I have some opportunities. I could move for uh, move to another city, Santos and other things, but I prefer stay here because my friends and family nowadays part of my family moved to Santos, but well, it's not exactly a problem because is my region is not so big, so you could use a car in the 20 minutes, depends on the traffic. It's possible to reach a lot of cities in my region, Santos, Praia
It's near,
Grande.
right?
Yeah.
Santos,
What?
São Vicente.
Could you repeat, please?
Yes, it's near Santos, São
Yeah,
Vicente.
yeah, exactly. It's if you compare it, São Paulo is yeah, is so small because yeah, sometimes I work in and how this I forgot the Berrini. I
Oh,
work at Berrini, and sometimes I have to go to the São Mateus. Sometimes we I took almost 2 hours driving.
oh my God.
That's wonder. That's incredible. So in the same time in my region, I don't know. I cross for maybe 5 cities. That's
Yes, you know a lot, São Paulo, traveling
yeah.
your
That's
day.
yeah. Sometimes that's weird.
So do you work here in São Paulo? Uh,
Not anymore.
oh, okay, yeah.
I
Work.
nowadays I live a dream. I work remotely in my house, and the office is there are two offices, São Paulo and Barueri, but my office is Barueri. And sometimes when I uh, go to my office, I go to the Barueri.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's weird. Is the distance is bigger, but I take less time going to Barueri than São Paulo. It's not possible to understand
yeah,
because the traffic is so big in São Paulo on São
it's
Paulo that I because well Barueri my office is beside of the highway, so in this case I just make a round and
mhm.
the get the Bandeirantes highway, after that Rodoanel, and after that Anchieta or Imigrantes, né? So when you talk about São Paulo, when I go to the office, is a region on São Paulo. It's not possible to by bus, not possible to use any kind of avenue. And you talk about the car, wow, that's incredible because there is a street, it's an avenue. It's called Bandeirantes too, and this avenue sometimes I took 1 hour in the same avenue,
Yeah, it's
and
impossible
yeah,
to stay in São Paulo to move in São Paulo because
yeah. If
every
you use
moment
the
you need
public,
to take traffic.
but if you it's possible to use subway, it's that's nice. That's nice. A lot of people don't have cars in São Paulo. The people normally when it's possible the people choose live in a house near from a subway station, and the sometimes the people work in an office near from another substation. So in this case, the people use it to take 30 minutes. So in this case, is reasonable.
Yes,
But
it's true. When I go to my job, I take a bus and have a bus lane. So probably I don't know. I stay in on the bus for 1 hour. It's fast if I compare it to go to the car. The car, I don't know, probably 2 hours because the bus don't take the traffic, so they go and the line. So it's very good, and I can take the train or metro, and yeah, it's very fast comparing to take a car.
Yeah.
So, do you like to live in Brazil?
Yeah. I prefer living in Brazil, and well, I don't have this dream to live abroad. I respect, and certainly I have to consider a lot of advantages to live abroad, uh, particular about violence. Unfortunately, is weird. And you don't talk about a specific country from Europe or United States, Canada. I talk about our neighbors. For example, I work during a month on Chile, and well, it's a safe country.
Yes.
If you compare with Brazil, that's weird. I sometimes I talk with foreigners, and they talk about the violence, and the people complain a lot, and
Mhm.
I it's making me laugh because when the people, for example, I work, I I have to work in the night, and so I went out from my hotel around midnight and come back 5, 6 a.m.
Mhm.
And the Chile, the sun rise later. So in this case, until 7 a.m. is a little is not clear yet. And when I in my region is have just hotels, stores, and offices. There are some houses, but it's just a few. And so in this case, the most part of the time after 7 o'clock, the streets are uh, vazias. I forgot the
Empty.
word. Yet. So I have when I arrived on Chile, I became a little concerned about the situation. But after some while, I noticed the people walking uh, normally on the streets, using smartphones and the other things.
It's
I
impossible here.
started
So,
to yeah, I started to become more calm, and at the end, after almost 30 years, I walk normally and don't have concerns about it. And there are a ATM, caixa eletrônica.
yes.
There are someone and the window out of the agents, and the people uh, pick up money on the streets, particularly. And so when I arrived at the hotel, the guy was alone. The door is opened, and
Yes.
the guy was watching video on the smartphone. And sometimes the guy don't notice that I arrived in the hotel, and sometimes I made some question. Hey, buddy, do don't concern about the violence or anything. Oh yeah, and Chile there are a lot of violence, and it's okay. I feel, yeah, I notice. So
Yeah.
similar for Brazil. So my friend, you let the door open 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not possible in Brazil. And when I arrived at Chile, I go to the office, and there are a big building. It's like Helbor offices in Brazil or something similar.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people got in the building, and I stop on the reception, and the guy don't uh, give importance for the situation. But as a Brazilian, I request my friend. I needed to go to the my company offices and okay, okay, buddy, go ahead. Eighth floor. Don't don't request ID any other thing. So I could got in the building and don't have problems. So it's totally different from Brazil.
No, totally different from Brazil. Here in São Paulo, 7 p.m. It's very dangerous. It's impossible
Yeah, yeah,
to walk on the
of-
streets with your smartphone.
yeah,
We need
certainly.
to look around. And don't know if have someone in your. It's terrible. The violence here in São Paulo, it's big. If you compare with others countries around us. Uh, and I like to live here in Brazil, like
Yeah,
you. Yeah, I don't know. I like to be Brazilian. You know, I like your food. I
yeah,
like your culture. Yeah, I don't know if one day I think about to move on to another country. I I really I hope in the future Brazil, São Paulo will be more safe, but I think it's very hard, almost impossible. But I like to live here.
yeah.
Uh, the question number two. In your opinion, Ricardo, Brazil is the most underrated travel destination in the world?
Well, not exactly. Could be better,
Yes.
but Brazil is one of the most visited countries of the world when we talk about tourism and things. But maybe, certainly, Brazil could increase a lot the number of the people uh, visiting because, well, we have a lot of problems when we talk about infrastructure, about
Yes.
violence. So I believe Brazil is could be not could be, but you could consider Brazil if the most visited country of the world because we have so much problems and a lot of people sometimes it's so weird for me the people for example wanted to visit Rio de Janeiro. I
Yes, I'm
I
with
ha-
you.
yeah, I have a fear. I Rio de Janeiro is an incredible city, it's very beautiful, but there are so much news about violence in Rio de Janeiro. So I I consider I don't consider visiting Rio de Janeiro. I have fear. I have fear. Yeah, it's not exactly so different from São Paulo, because in my region, for example, one of the the most violent regions of the Brazil, because I don't know. Probably you could what news about recently problems in my region about the policeman killed
Yes,
by.
I saw
Uh,
about it.
so in this case, well, uh, I believe that is better, but is terrible too, because uh, well, Brazilians are used to face this problem so much time, and the nowadays became a routine. Is is so weird, but. And there are some problems. For example, when we talk about using cell phones on the street, sometimes when you have your smartphone still, the people normally made questions like, "What happened?" Uh, I believe that when the people request this question, it starts make a mistake because, well, doesn't matter. But you talk on you walking on the streets using a smartphone. It's not possible, my friend. Yeah, I agree. Uh, I have to accept the reality, but well, sometimes I on downtown, there are a lot of people on the streets, and it's not possible to use the smartphone. And the police give advices to don't use smartphone, don't use the juros or other things. I believe that this situation is a completely fail of the state, our state. And sometimes you became the the victim became a wrong part of the history because my friend it's not possible you commit a big mistake because you attend a phone call on the streets. So the perspective of this smartphone is you could go out and use the smartphone
Yes, we
because
don't.
if you don't have if you don't use if it's not possible to use a cell phone on the streets, so in this case it's better you buy a regular line phone call.
Yes.
So
Why do you have a cell phone if you can use? We don't feel free to live
yeah,
to to live with fear. Oh, it's terrible. I
yeah.
agree.
But I sometimes I read some articles about some researches about the most visited cities of the world, and cities from Brazil is always on the top of the list, and the first, I don't know, 51, 50 whole, 50 cities of the world. So sometimes Rio de Janeiro, for example, is always on the the top. So and the northwest and the about the Manaus and the because the Amazon forest. So certainly Brazil is the most visited country of the world. One of
Yeah.
them.
I,
Probably I don't know. That could be in position 10 or I don't know. It's around.
yes, I think we live in the rich country. We have a lot of landscapes here. We have
Yeah.
beautiful beaches in the northwest, like in Ceará. Oh my God, the beach there is very beautiful.
Yeah. Exactly.
Uh, yeah, and Rio de Janeiro, it's very beautiful too. I went there once, and oh my God, what a beautiful city. The problem is because it's the violence and some place it's not safe. So it's terrible for this. But it's a beautiful state to know. And yeah, I think when you talk about Brazil, I think it's more hard to us to travel to Northwest to know
Exactly.
some beats there because it's more expensive.
I'm sorry, could you repeat because I didn't understand well. Have a problem with my internet connection.
Oh, okay. About the beats in the Northwest, I think it's
Oh,
very hard to us
yeah,
Brazilians
yeah,
to go there because it's very expensive.
yeah.
The food there, hotels.
Yeah,
So
for but for foreigners, is not expensive because they use dollar or
Yes, of
euro.
course. Euro, if you come from another country, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
easy. So yes, I think it's Brazilian. It's we have a lot of beautiful places to know. So you said about Amazon. We have a lot of beautiful flores there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful state. Ricardo, is there any city or state in Brazil that you would like to know?
Yeah, certainly. I don't know a lot of. Yeah, I'm I love visiting cities from Northwest. Uh, I don't know, Salvador, uh, maybe Porto de Galinhas. That's wonderful. I don't know, Fernando de Noronha. Well, there are a lot of Bonito. I wanted to visit Bonito.
Yes, bonito.
And yeah, that well, there are on the southwest from some Brazil too. There are a lot of uh, Porto Alegre. I would like to know Santa
Gramado, it's beautiful
Catarina.
too.
Yeah, there are a lot of. I believe it's unfortunately Brazilians don't give value, but sometimes there are some Brazilians prefer visit another countries, but well, except for violence and other problem, infrastructure problems, Brazil is an incredible country. Not so because the the beautiful landscapes, but about the people, about the food. Well, there are a lot of incredible things to know in Brazil, certainly.
Yeah. Oh, you said about uh, prefer to go another country. The question number question number four. It's about it. Answer to me.
Uh-huh.
Uh, wait a little. Okay. If you had to choose between traveling to Porto de Galinhas and Machu Picchu, would you prefer and why?
Yeah. Well, I talk about Brazil, but I prefer no Machu Picchu.
Yes.
Well, Portugalinhas is an incredible place. Certainly, I would like to visit so much. But well, I live in a South Coast, so I there are beautiful places in my region too. Huh? But Machu Picchu is different, because it's another perspective because it's part of our history, wonder history. You prefer to know because well, sometimes you read a book or uh, study about our history, but Machu Picchu is a history, is a
Yeah.
own history. You could see uh, well how these guys living and the tools and the other things that the people use, I don't know, 1,000 years ago. So in this case, I is incredible. But if I can, I choose the both one, the both cities, the both places.
Yes, I agree with you. I think Machu Picchu is more than a landscape. It's history, as you said. It's the it's something that escapes the reality.
Yeah,
I know I wanna know Machu Picchu. I wanna visit Machu Picchu and one a day because yeah, I think it's very different place to
Certainly.
know. In my opinion, I prefer Machu Picchu. Yes, I really like beach, but Machu Picchu it's amazing. It's another reality. Number five, about three states in Brazil. I think we said about it. You give it to me, I don't know, you give it to me 10 places to know in Brazil. I need to do a list about it. Uh, Number six, could you read it for me, Ricardo?
Sure, sure. Do you think the Brazilian underrated our own country? Why? I'm not sure if you understood well. You talk about the people, the Brazilians don't visit their own country. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, well, Brazilian is have a lot of money, but the most part of the population is poor. So in this case, it's not possible for the most part of Brazilian visit another country. But when you talk about the richest, the the rich people on Brazil and the well, uh, there is I believe that Brazilians would like to visit their own country. I believe, but sometimes is we face problem because the violence in another aspects. Because for example, when we talk about Rio de Janeiro, I believe that is a so beautiful place. Né? So
yes,
in this case, certainly the Brazilians would like to visit, but maybe if some person prefer another country, if for example visit Rio de Janeiro, my there are two aspects. One of them, this this person visits a lot of times Rio de Janeiro. So in this case, uh, he would like to visit a different uh, country, or about the violence. Sometimes uh, I could talk about me, né? But I I don't. The only situation that I don't want to visit Rio de Janeiro is about the violence, because is as I told you, is incredible city.
yes. I agree with you. When I got married, my wife and I, we did a Google to know the places to visit, to travel,
Uh-huh.
and it was cheaper to go to Argentina than to go to the Northwest.
Yeah,
So,
that's so weird and so weird.
yes.
My mother a long time ago visited. I forgot the. I believe that's Natal. I'm not
Mm,
sure, but I believe it's Natal. And in that time, it's cheaper visit another country than Natal. There are two situations. Brazil is a, a big country, and when we talk about airplane companies, we really have two companies on Brazil.
yes.
So in this case, it's not possible to have a good scenario to uh, have a good service and pay enough money to use the airplane. So That's weird,
Yes, it's
because
harder to find a
uh,
uh, ticket cheaper to travel in Brazil.
yeah, yeah.
And of course, we prefer to Argentina because the price and it was different to different place to know. And we travel with aerolíneas. It's
I see Argentina.
Argentine, yes. So it was more easy to us was in our reality to know. It's very it's very funny because it was more expensive to travel in Brazil than Argentina.
Yeah.
It's really different. Do you know to visit another country, or you said about moving away, you want to here in Brazil,
Another,
but do
yeah,
you want to visit another country?
sure. Uh, you made a question about if you wanted to visit another country. That's it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, certainly, certainly. I would like to visit uh, France, Italy, Greek, I don't know, Egypt, Australia. Well, if you have money, I travel every month, maybe.
Around the world. No,
Yes,
everywhere.
certainly, certainly.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to pass 1 year just knowing the countries, cultures. Unfortunately, it's expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
I really wanted to know Germany and Iceland. Iceland, oh my God, it's a beautiful place. It's
Yeah,
very stunning place.
exactly.
Uh, and do you, are you learning another language to, I don't know, Spanish
Well,
or
I
French?
face yeah, I face problems, but I can communicate in Spanish. Uh, uh, I studied 1 year and a half French, but well, I don't use for so long time, and I believe that I forgot the most part of the knowledge. I would like to uh, participate for the immersions in the French immersions, but I prefer focus on English because you, you notice certainly I don't have a enough knowledge to communicate well with uh, particular foreigners, and I use English a lot of times in my job. I can read and write. I face problems too, but I have more ability when to talk about these skills. But
Yeah.
talk is I improve a little because of I participate in immersions a lot of time, and the but when you talk about listen, understand the other people is I face problems. Well, when it, when you talk about my job, is the situation is more precise because I the people share their screens and I just needed to explain some situations. So it's a different perspective. But for example, if you have to uh, do a speech for foreigners, certainly I can't, but I try to do my best.
Well, about your friends, so you know, but you need to practice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so if we put you on the Paris, it's okay for you. You can survive there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Of course, learning English, talking English, you can survive in the another country.
Yes.
Every country you can talk in English and it's okay. You can survive there. It's very important to learn English. And number 8. Yeah, we talk about it. Do you think that expensive prices in general in Brazil
Yeah.
prevent Brazilians from visiting tourist attractions here?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons. Maybe the biggest one,
Yes,
because even infrastructure problems and the violence, the Brazilians using a lot of money to visit another parts of Brazil.
yes, because you think, oh my God, I will pay expensive the ticket, the hotel, and I will go to the place with biggest violence. Don't make sense. So I think yeah, I think it's a good reason, a good way to think because we paid expensive. I don't know if how to say passagens.
What say? What?
Passagens.
Passagens?
Yes,
Uh,
passagem aérea.
could be tickets, but
Yes, chicks. Oh, okay. I think I was talking wrong. And yeah, I think it's don't make sense pay expensive price for this and to go to the states or city
mhm.
and to be stolen. So I think it's sad for this. Number 9. In your opinion, do you think foreigners value Brazil more than we do? And why do you think this happened?
Uh, maybe, maybe. I believe that the foreigners give more values, but for the other hand, the opposite occurs.
Yes,
Depends on the country. For example, when I talk about Chile, my experience and proud, the Chileans love Brazil and talk a lot of things. It's different, because I'm a tourist in some parts, because well, I work there, but sometimes I was visiting some place and the perspective is different. But I may feel well, and I believe in, because Brazil is a smart place, is a wonderful place. Uh, but well, want to talk about this topic with some Chileans. Well, they they said the same. Uh, oh, in Brazil, the people sometimes uh, give more emphasis, more importance to foreigners than on Brazilians. Oh,
yeah,
the guy told you, that here's the same. Here's the same. Certain, my friend. And well, I sometimes well, I uh, how do you say? I enjoy the opportunity, particular about drivers. I use a lot Uber in the taxis too, and during the the travel, I talk a lot with the guys. There are one of them that don't talk so much, but the most part of them talk a lot, and
yes,
the well. I know a lot of situations about the culture, about the, well, a lot of things. For example, I when I have to go to the Chile was a situation uh, because I don't have much time to think and research about it. Because,
Mhm.
well, I received this opportunity Wednesday, and I have to accept it the same day. uh, And the well, uh, I I have to take care about documents and the other situations, and I travel in the next Tuesday in that time. So I have 5 days to take care about the clothes and the all documents and other things. So in this case, for example, I don't know. I didn't know about the earthquakes, uh, and
Mhm.
there are a lot of. And the guy told me, "You do you know there are earthquakes on Chile?" I thought, no, I didn't know. And one situation, I was on a mall, and suddenly I started to notice a lot of vibration, and wow, and some products drop or fall off the armchair,
Mhm.
and wow, I passed for an hour of cake, and but the guys continue walking normally,
Oh,
and doesn't matter about it, because yes, certainly they are face so much earthquakes, and he don't really concerned about it.
I think it's very different from Brazil because if
Yeah,
this happening here, a lot
certainly.
of people will, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah,
It's very different. Uh, yeah, I agree with you. I think uh, I think we have a beautiful country,
yeah,
and probably the foreigners look they look to our country and think, oh my God, what a rich place to live.
yeah.
We have everything we need here. So I think totally need to value more our country, our place, to know more, to visit more here. Yeah, I don't know why it's happened. I think it's very hard to see good things living in Brazil because when we see TV, we just saw terrible news.
Mhm.
So I think it is contribute too. And yes, I think it is. Ricardo, so we talk about Brazil, and I want to know, in your opinion, Brazil is underrated or overrated?
Yeah, it's a tough question because uh, s- you could see for one of the sides underrated because is uh, for example, you talk about landscapes or nature. Well, probably Brazil is the first one, and the when you talk about the people, the people treat very well the foreigners and things. So in this case, you uh, could be underrated because
Yeah.
if you don't if you don't have violence, or if you the violence uh, was more controlled, certainly the foreigners visit much more, and the Brazilians too. And for the same reason, I believe that Brazil is overrated because besides of the violence, there are a lot of tourists from another countries and on Brazil too. So if you, I consider violence so big problem. So in this case, if you have to choose, I choose overrated because besides of the violence, uh, there are so much, so many visitants in Brazil or tourists is better.
Yes, I think we can think about we can think the both possibilities because we have very good things to good things to see in Brazil, but
Yeah,
we can see terrible things here too. So yeah, I think we don't have a answer for this question because we need to think in this the two two sides. And yeah, but it's a good thing to think. It's a good é uma coisa para se pensar. Well, Ricardo,